Hey, this is Dr. Edwards for Anatomy and Physiology 1. This is the Exam 1 review, and it works for both the Monday, Wednesday face-to-face class as well as the Tuesday hybrid class. So making sure you go into Canvas, check out your notes for each chapter, watch the videos. Also check out the Exam 1 review. So the test will be a combination of multiple choice, fill in the blank, and essay. So really anything that's in the chapter 1 notes or chapter 2, chapter 3 notes is going to be something that you might want to study. So if you go to the full notes, all right, so let's look at that. So again, anything that's in here is fair game for multiple choice as far as fill in the blank, things that you'll want to know. If you look at pages 6 and 7, so you'll definitely want to make sure that you know about the definitions of anatomy, physiology, and biology. You'll also want, on those pages, you'll also want to be able to list and define 2 characteristics of living organisms. So here you are with characteristics of living organisms. So here's you got your definition of biology, and let's see, we'll go. Here's your definitions of anatomy and physiology. Characteristics of living organisms, we just passed that. You'll need to know, be able to list and define 2 characteristics. And you also, on page 3, we passed it, but you'll need to know the 6 steps of the scientific method. You'll also need to know definitions of hypothesis and theory. And you'll need to be able to list the levels of organization from lowest to highest or highest to lowest. You'll need to be able to define the definition of, or know the definitions of 2 of the levels of organization. So again, I won't necessarily tell you which of those 2, so you need to know them all, but there'll be 2 that you'll need to fill in the blank on. And so remember at this point, I'm just talking about fill in the blank. All right. So in chapter 2, so you'll want to know the definitions of chemistry, proton, neuron, and electron. So that's definitely, in terms of fill in the blank, what you'll want to know there. And as we go to chapter 3, you'll want to know 2 parts of contemporary cell theory. Let's pull this up. So you want to know 2 parts of contemporary cell theory in here. All right, so you can see that here in the notes. There's that section. You'll also want to, or be able to list one difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Okay, so you'll be able to tell the difference between the 2. You want to know the definition of the genetic code. You know the definition of genes, and you know the definition of chromosomes. All right, so those are definitions that you'll want to know. So genetic code, gene, and chromosome, and this is for the fill in the blank. All right, so you'll also have short answer essay questions. I also want you to make sure that you spend some time looking at the Exam 1 review. So it tells you again, you have fill in the multiple choice, fill in the blank, matching, and short answer essay. So again, this kind of gives you an overview of what things could be on the test, and then tells you that for each chapter. It also tells you at the end of these, it tells you here the possible short answer essay questions that you might see. So you could see a question on the difference between positive and negative feedback. You could also, on Chapter 2, see a question on properties of water and why they're important. And for Chapter 3, you could see an essay question asking you to explain transcription or asking you to explain translation. And in both, you need to know something about the parts and that are involved and the steps that are involved. Okay, and in terms of that essay, how that essay is graded, it's graded on a rubric. Okay, so you can grade. It's basically on your completion, how complete the information is. Whether it's fully complete or missing information, your level of comprehension, your level of understanding in your short answer essay response, the content and whether it's extremely well organized or not, as well as grammar, making sure there's no grammatical or spelling errors and making sure that it's easy to read. Okay, so that's kind of been our overview or review for exam 1. Going forward, we'll probably do this as we go through the chapters, but just wanted to make sure that you at least had heard from me some of the things that I think are important as you study and prepare for the exam. Good luck and talk to you soon. This is Dr. Edwards signing out.